Taylor's room. That's
Okay,
so
look, I got
fun.
bullied by Mike, so I turned my lights on. Does anybody have a problem? I was trying it out. I'm trying something new. We're trying something new. We're trying
And
new things.
Max is what I always say. And my mother
What
says,
vulnerability! I love it.
I'm just-
Oh,
hey, look,
man.
I'm a man that can understand if I need to make a change. So we're making a change.
Tyler is not the man.
This is episode 64 of Unfinished Business. I'm going to break down some slight changes that you may notice tonight. We've been discussing kind of the personality direction of the podcast we'd like to go in. If you join us live, things are going to appear very normal. If you are a post-produced listener that's used to a formatted show where we have various topics, we're going to be much more like the live stream, where this is just going to be bowling with the boys for roughly an hour. We're going to talk about disc golf, and we're also just going to talk about very random things like me being bullied. So stick around if you like it, and if you don't, let me know in the comments or join our Discord, and I will not pay attention to that negativity. Thank you.
Did you send me live?
I didn't. Would you like to? We probably should. I forgot we tried that. We are also going to go live on me and Corey's channels. Just for fun, just to see what happens. Yeah, that's it. This is gonna be post-produced much more like the live stream. We're also going live on me and Corey's channels, and we're just gonna rip it. With that being said,
it's unlisted.
I think you have to change that. With that being said, I have much less actual topics to get into. I see in the first thing I open our Discord, the first thing I see is join the live to hear hot mom and 14 boys.
I also saw that.
I would like to start out talking about the weekly challenge that I did today. It's fresh on my mind. I actually have the bag that I utilized right here.
Oh my goodness.
Because
bro's popping out the instant bag.
Yeah, he's a little small guy. I played so well. I threw the disc so bad, but I putted so well today. And I just want to give a shout out to the Birdie Marble. This thing's insane. Also, this guy. I may unironically bag this. This thing is the Jing from Yikun Discs. This is like the antithesis.
That is.
Go ahead.
That is borderline racial slur, and I don't know what to feel about that.
It's named after the Chinese, I think either mythological or some sort of deity, Jing Chen. It's kind of the antithesis of discs that I would normally like, in that it is very deep and it is also beaded. But this thing is sick, man.
What's it do?
Very straight. So it's listed as a 2401, and I think that's pretty accurate. I just kind of
it's a straight but beaded putter.
I could throw this really hard and it wouldn't
like a judge
get squirrely on me. It would just kind of fade a little bit. So
where did you pick that up?
I got this from infinitedisc.com using my own affiliate link to pay myself back for this purchase. Actually, I think that was before that was a thing. But I got this from Infinite. I can't really remember why, but I ordered it. And I've had it for probably over a year and threw it for the first time today. I almost aced with my first throw with it, actually.
That's
hit
awesome.
The basket.
I need to get on the courses so I can try to get some aces like fast. This is the year of the ace. If I don't ace this year, I'm quitting disc golf. I've already said that. So
finally,
I gotta
my boy.
We're getting it. I gotta start going out there and ripping.
Yeah, we need to hashtag get Tyler an ace 2025.
Yeah,
that's got to be a thing.
Well, I don't really trust it. I don't think Tyler aces this year, but I
think he does. I think it's going to be with an inner core as well. I'm gonna say it's with a throwing inner core right in the basket.
Such a good straight flyer.
I don't get the Sky God 4's beaded though, right, Mike? Mike said that putter looked like a Sky God 4, or I mean beadless.
It's just a P2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's beadless. It is beadless.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So you just played this weekly challenge. What was that was your big conclusion here?
Yeah, I really like that putter. Also, I don't know, man. I have a mental disability unrelated to that.
Can't wait to clip that one.
I thought we got rid of all of this through our conversation yesterday. Was it yesterday or this morning? I don't even
remember. I wish that every time that I threw a mid-range, my first immediate thought wasn't, I kind of want to throw a different mid-range than that. It's like
You do that so
It's
much,
the past
man.
3 years of my life. I don't understand.
Yeah, that
I hate
It's
it.
kind of crazy.
I hate
That's
it.
me and
Oh,
that's me and distance drivers. Like it's like
Yeah.
cool, I figured it out. Now I need to go unlock something else.
Pod title Taylor comes out as neurodivergent, bro. We've been knowing. We've been knowing that. Also, if Tyler aced in Charlotte with the boys, that would be absolutely electric.
dude, we gave him a beautiful opportunity.
I am working on that right now. So everyone has to figure out some availability in September.
September?
In September, I'm just
Sep-
kidding. Of course.
You got to wake me up when it ends.
Oh,
Oh, for our graphics team, also Corey, we should make some individual thumbnails for going live for the podcast on our channels.
That's
As
fine.
I wish-
Dude, we can do whatever you want. I'll call him right now. Can you send me live again?
Yeah, I wish I understood how live stream is
Because
awful to
it's
record.
public now.
Okay.
What?
You should be.
I
you
was
should be
I was
good.
also trying to get your thing up here. Tyler, how did this weekly challenge go for you while they're looking for this?
is this trolling now at this point? Just be honest.
Oh my gosh. Tyler, why don't you tell him why? Because I forgot, because it's been so long.
Okay, Jamie, pull up the clip of me looking down at my phone where everybody was talking about this, but I was still listening to everything was going on. Last week I went out.
Well, not listening
Listen.
enough to remember the requirements of the challenge.
And now Mike's gonna increase my 40% to 45% talking because I'm gonna tell a mini story here.
That was a criminal
So-
take, by the way. That was a criminal take. I gotta say it.
Yeah, I mean that's why I had to figure it out. I'm like, all right, so what kind of lasting impression am I leaving? Anyways, last week I went out and played, and my goal this year is to not do worse than a double bogey on any single hole when I go out and play, no matter what. It could be screwing around, whatever. This third hole, I triple bogey, and I'm like, dude, not even halfway through the year, and I already blew my load. So then I dog it out the rest of the round to squeak out a decent score. So I think I shot 207 rated on UDisc or something like that. And lo and behold, I put it in the group, and everyone's like, DQ'd, you're out, you're gone. And I was like, why? And they're like, because you threw this, you threw this, you threw this, you threw this. Listen, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're telling me that there is some sort of I don't even know how to explain this. It is so dumb.
Minor interjection. If you're new here, we do weekly challenges in our Discord. The challenge this week
On our Discord.
it's a weekly tags league virtually in our Discord. The challenge this week was to use one disc per manufacturer, so you could only use one disc per manufacturer. Sorry, Tyler, I just wanted to interject some context for the boys.
Got to do it. Mike, you did not bully me into doing anything. You
I'm
just
turning my
said
light
no.
off right now.
Yeah, do it. So anyways, yeah, I threw a Luna
Take that.
and a Pipeline. So those are both from the same manufacturer. I threw, what else, Matt? What else was wrong? An Innova disc. I put an Innova disc and an Infinite disc in the bag.
What? No, I
Never-
thought we just used that as an example.
I think
thought
it
you
was.
didn't do
I think
that.
it was just the two disc crafts.
It was just the Luna pipeline. We
Yeah.
just gave a different description as well.
And I threw the Pipeline once, maybe twice, but I know
Yeah.
for a fact once I went back and retraced. Other than that, I putted with the Lunas. I didn't even throw the Lunas. Anyways, I was told I got DQ'd, so I just refused to put up another
Oh,
score.
whoa.
Actually, you were told
No,
that it was going
we-
to be a penalty assessment, and you said you would like to be.
we just told you
DQ'd.
it was going to be a penalty, and then you DQ'd yourself. And then we said, bro,
The penalty was dumb. Listen, if you're telling me I broke the rules, I broke the rules. DQ'd. Get me out of there.
All right.
No way. And by the way, I went back into
lied.
UDisc.
It says so.
I went back in the UDisc and I deleted that round like it never happened.
and
So
look.
no more triple bogey, and
It's a
that is still
fraudulent round.
alive.
Yeah, it's just
So I did a 99 or whatever they call it in DGA or DG. PDGA.
999.
Yeah, see, Scott says
yeah,
the
I forgot
DQ is sounds good. That works for me. Scott, how about you do something and actually do a challenge with us?
That
Oh,
is
this guy's
great.
out
I'm
here
calling
just talking
Scott
about
out.
ice cream, and he's just
Whoa.
Yeah, and also, he was
Getting
definitely talking
roasted.
about Dairy Queen, but
I have nothing against Scott. Oh, I'm just saying I'm a little upset that Scott has been here, OG member, and has not put in a single challenge.
Scott might be the most OG member.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
Gotta be.
Scott, put in the comments, what episode did you legit start watching this? We got to know.
This is such a good question here.
He said Scott don't play disc golf. Yeah, okay. Calm down, Mike.
He says he'll do the next one here. Okay, this is weird. I'm looking at like 2 chats.
Yo, shout out Blitz, my guy.
Shout out Blitz for checking in with us tonight. Mac doesn't play disc golf now.
Wow, Scott says he's been here since the first episode.
First episode? Wait, Barbarian, are you bogeying whatever in our Discord? And you've really been here since episode 2? Because I do remember you saying that Brody told us to go offline. He did have some OG references.
So then we got to know, Mike, what episode did you start watching? Now we got to start. I mean, I'm going to say like episode like 30 something. Would be my guess.
I think he's been watching for what episode are we on?
61,
man.
Yeah, there's no way. Okay, first off, 61 is wrong. But
how did he find our Discord if he just started watching at 61 though? Can't be.
I feel like the higher the episode number, the more the Discord gets plugged though. So
he says,
yeah,
I don't know.
We love plugging that Discord. Join our Discord. We talk about disc golf quite frequently.
Too much, some could say. Some could argue too much. Corey, I don't know what's happening with your stream, man. It says you're live.
It says connect streaming software to go live.
Blitz. Unfortunately, Corey doesn't actually know how to use YouTube.
The stream key again.
He's fighting his demons, so Corey does not actually talk in these.
Dang, thanks, Mac. Appreciate it.
No, I'm trying to.
Yeah, Mac is really giving.
It's
giving him for the cloud.
It's a good time.
It's the same one.
Maybe it's time to put the parameters back in place then. I don't know. That's sad.
That is, man.
What are we talking about?
Nothing. Corey.
We're talking about trying to send Corey completely Corn Bob live.
I would love to send completely Corn Bob live. What a great! I
had 2 people.
Really relaxing.
You're gonna send him somewhere, and it's not live.
Yeah, it's not live.
You're all gonna.
I'll say this:
pushing Dad to the edge.
I'll say this: I played great in my challenge.
It's freaking me out because in the corner of the screen, it says someone else, but it's.
Are you on completely?
I'm on my channel. Yeah.
Oh, it does say you're live now. You're live.
Look
at that.
Dude.
Yeah, you're live. You're fine.
I don't know.
I'm looking at it right now.
Hey, what is this?
Forehand grip.
Frisbee.
No, I mean, what is this? This is
I know what that is.
Secret weapon.
I haven't
what
got
the heck
my
is this?
It is Corey's childhood rheumatic.
So we were looking for. We're looking for stuff in used section. Once we hooked up Matt with those used discs, and then I saw that one. I'm like, "Yep, send it to Corey." Everyone heard me say it, so they knew it was coming.
Corey, just so you know, Blitz said you look like you're in the childhood room in your attic, which is a pretty apt description.
I am. there's a Pokemon. There's some Sonic. There's some more Sonic.
Spider-Man.
That hat doesn't fit me anymore because it's from my childhood.
Had it since he was a wee
yeah. There's
babe.
a lot of Spider-Man. Where's my boards? Oh, it's over here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so hard to Spider-Man, snowboard, freaking lava lamp. No, there's no Spider-Man on the snowboard.
No shout out to your present.
Yeah, it doesn't even mention it. Wow,
doesn't even know.
Oh, that
doesn't even know.
Oh, dude, you know what's funny? What? Someone tried to give me another one of these, and I totally just forgot to take it. And then they were like, dude, you forgot this. And it was in Kentucky. It was in Kentucky, and I was like, no, it's right here. And I like gaslit them.
Imagine you get enough of the same like duplicative posters to just cover your entire background.
Just the whole thing.
Like it looks like a green screen, but it's just actually just the same poster over and over again.
What's the stack of white discs behind you though?
Those are all stiff Marvel white with black stamp putters.
Beautiful.
And a 1997 Red Wings Stanley Cup hat from my grandpa.
You guys, this is slightly embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell you guys a story. This is not a vulnerability. Can't talk vulnerability.
Okay. So this is gonna be a Taylor like
this isn't
psycho
actually
sesh.
that big of a good deal. That big of a deal.
Never mind.
So my weekly challenge round today, I was playing, and you guys, describe your mental game in a sentence when you play disc golf.
When I play disc golf or when I play the challenge?
Both.
Because my mental during the challenge is non-existent.
Yeah.
I suck at these challenges.
That is true.
Normal disc golf?
Mentally ill.
100% healthy.
Like, I don't know what you're exactly asking, but I would say for me, I don't know. I try to keep it in play and make my putts.
We should have to Mac's point, we should put a window on the live stream that combines all of our chats. I could do that. That would be fun. I'm going to tell you where I'm getting at here. Today I played my weekly challenge. In my mindset, I don't know why I started this, but around like hole 3 or hole 2, actually, I started. Mentally, my mental conversation was Tyler was there with me and he was my caddy. And I was talking through every shot as if Tyler was there with me and he was my caddy. And I think I played so much better, like smarter.
I played like dog.
No, I played so much smarter because of that. But it was so funny.
How do you normally do it then?
Nothing.
Ryan Reynolds.
Absolutely nothing. Zero thoughts, period. But I had a moment on hole 9 specifically where I had this the last time I played. I don't know what's happening right now. My forehand's better than my backhand. I'm in a crisis. But I literally could not hit a line off the tee to save my life. And I threw a flip like off the fairway, but it was like 60 away. So like I had like a decent straddle putt at it. And I was having this mental conversation with Tyler in my head. I was like, I'm not playing bad. I'm just not like scoring. Like I don't have any like real like good birdies. Like I got to start scoring soon. And I just drained the 60-footer like prayer putt. And I was like, Tyler's my guy.
There it is.
You knew.
I tell Matt, what is my number one putting tip? Do you remember? I'm pretty sure I told you when we were
getting ready. Did.
When we were getting ready.
Is it that beginner friendly thing that you keep saying every single week? You go, hey guys, just remember to just put it on the table and just let it slide across the table. That's dude. You said that 40 times, and then I watch you putt, and that's not what you do.
I'm kind of a nose up floaty putter.
I just mean like you're like slide it across the table, and then I watch you, and you're like,
Corey actually like slides it like really low. So my number one, I'm pretty sure maybe I didn't say this, but I thought I did. My number one putting tip is you got to tell yourself you're going to make the putt before you do it. You got to tell me that. You got to mentally say, I'm going to make this putt, and then boom, and you'll make it.
I also had a similar thing going on in my weekly challenge just a couple hours ago, where I am bad when I start to play well. I'm like, oh crap, how do I do this? I've never done this before.
Jack Nicklaus. Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. See, I told you I try to time this and I can't time it right. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I was just saying I shot like 7 down on this round, which is like kind of whatever for this course. But I was like, as I was doing better, I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like I'm getting nervous about like 12-foot putts. But then I thought, you know who's really good when there's pressure? Tyler. And so I just said, man. I'm just draining that. And I made every single putt.
You guys are building me up way too much.
No, you're just good during pressure. You're just good during pressure.
This is the one thing I've remembered is that Jack Nicklaus, who was arguably one of the greatest golfers of all time, said you can't be afraid to win. So when you get into the moment where you're at the top, you can't be afraid to win. So you got to keep going. You got to go after.
There could be such a good, just absolutely fire cap cut Tyler edit with just some like inspirational quotes behind it. That would be so sick.
I had B-roll shots missing every putt. Just caging every single one.
Speaking of this weekly challenge, I took a rangefinder because I told you guys like 2 weeks ago that I'm really bad at gauging distances. I'm really bad at gauging distances.
Nice.
And the rangefinder confirmed. Every time I'd walk up and go, I have an 18-footer. Range find 27 feet. It was just like the every C2 putt I had, I thought was a C1 putt. I walked up, range found 45 feet, and I thought it was in C1.
You need glasses or something.
I just can't. I'm not a good gauge of distances, especially when it gets close. So, but no, I think I made like, I don't know. You have to look at the stats, but I think I made 16 to 16 C1 and X putts.
Yeah, I could not throw the disc today, but I putted so well. The Marvel, I love that thing, man.
What is it about the Marvel you like?
I think it's just like, it's everything. The perfect in between of like a glidey deep putter that doesn't feel like a glidey deep putter. Like it's still decently shallow, but it's roundy and like glidey enough to where I think I made a lot of putts today that with the Tomb would have hit the cage because it just doesn't have the same glide. Which again, and Burr will tell you that that's a good thing to have a like PA3 2 and honestly, style putter Taylor, to make you commit to putting. But I have commitment issues, so here we are.
Ooh. Honestly, Taylor, wouldn't you say that it feels good in the hand?
I'd say that.
Yeah.
The right one, left one.
Tyler loves that.
The problem I had with the Marvel is that I feel like it wasn't fast enough for me from Circle 2. Like I like a faster putter from Circle 2.
Tyler, is with the Marvel the same problem you have every week when you swap putters, though?
Hold on. Corey was saying something and then come back to Matt. Corey, what do you say?
Mean by faster?
Like if you have a faster speed putt and you spin it, it'll get to the basket faster and it won't float as much.
Isn't that just how you throw it?
No, I don't think so.
I definitely think there are
like I can float. I could float a driver, and I can also.
I can.
Yeah, but if I don't change anything in my rhythm of how I putt, a 3-speed like a Logic will putt faster than an AVR. Like it's.
Yeah, but if you're in C2, you're not putting the same way you're putting from like 15 feet.
I know. So it takes, there's more distance to cover, so I got to spin it more. So what happens with me if I use like a 2-speed putter is that it starts getting floaty on me and I'll miss the basket way left. Like if I use a 3-speed, it'll hold that line a lot longer and get to the basket.
See, I don't think you're right. I think you hit cage. I think you hit cage once, and then you go, "This is too slow," and then you change putters.
Okay, well, we can straight up say that the higher you go up in speed, the less wind resistance it should have because it's a faster.
But between a 2 and a 3,
there's still a difference. He's not saying there's a big difference.
I don't,
but there's a difference. Millimeter wise there is, so that's going to relate to some change in like some. I'm not saying it's a big one.
You're telling me you couldn't feel
carrying an 8-speed and a 9-speed.
You can't feel a difference in how the putter flies from, we'll call it 35 feet with a Marvel compared to like a Luna.
No, it's the same.
No, it's different.
I was putting with a Luna before the Marvel.
No, it's different.
Did somebody out there with a high speed camera?
Matt, what was your question?
I said, are you sure it's not the fact that you change putters every single week? You're on 18 putters and it's 2025. That's
what I'm saying. He'll do one cage and be like, too slow. No. I gotta get another putter and then just grab something else.
No. I'm saying two unrelated things.
I'm saying 8 months with the Steady BL last year, which is a 2-speed putter. It was nice while it lasted, but like it from Circle 2, I was not making anything because it would just kind of like float out and miss to the left.
That sounds like
an issue.
Because as soon as I put a 3-speed putter back in my hand, it was right back online on what I wanted.
Yeah, these are unrelated things. You've also been on the Luna, Inner Core, Marvel, back to Steadies, back to the Luna.
Okay, in the last full 12 months, I've putted with Steady BLs, I've putted with Lunas, I've putted with Inner Cores, and now I'm back to Lunas. So I've only putted with 3 putters in the last 12 months. So, just saying. Oh, you know what?
Lunas
I lied. I putted with the regular Steadies for about 2 weeks.
What speed is an Inner Core?
2.
I think it's the fact that the Luna's a 0-3 and it's just so overstable.
The what?
The Luna is a 0-3. It's just so overstable.
They've redone it and it's actually a 0-2.
Hey, wait a second. Can we remember back to when I said they were going to do that and everyone was like, "No, they're not going to do that," and then they did that?
That is true. Jamie could.
Can I get some respect, please?
I believe we get immediate respect. So
no,
I don't think your numbers were right. I think that's what we were arguing about.
I said they were going to have to redo
402 or something like that.
No, I think it's still 333 or 3402.
I wish we could get a large collection of data talking about, do you feel a difference between a 2-speeded putter and a 3-speeded putter from circle 2?
Somebody put the poll in the Discord. That's the scientific evidence.
Yeah, let's get that poll in the Discord.
But it can't. It's got to be like, it's got to be described a little bit better.
I think we can do that in the YouTube chat. Thoughts?
I think we can actually. Yeah, I know for a fact we can. Wait a second. We might be innovating.
I almost
engage with your audience. Start a poll.
Dude, that would be so funny.
Whoopsie.
Oh, we're just chilling and then end it. Just 5 minutes in.
While Matt does that, we did have some Pro Tour action go down this last weekend. Niklas Antila goes back to back, winning the Music City Open. I would like to start with the points update purely for the fact that I picked Niklas Antila and got 4 points.
Dude,
so
goated.
Shout out to me. Yeah. Paul ruined my podium, even though Simon was my first pick and decided to not do anything. Shout out, Simon. I still respect you as a man. But I got 4 points for Nicholas as the winner, and Silas Schultz popping a top 10 from the dark horse position. Super sick. The only other points received was Matt picking Gannon Burr. So the total is now, I went from worst to first. I've got 6 points. Tyler has 5. Matt has 4. Corey has 3. So there's your points.
Can we kind of close?
Can we take a second and talk about that controversy really quick? I don't think Niklas knows how to play guitar.
Yeah, it's questionable, but he's like amassing a nice collection of Southern themed memorabilia, and he's got a Gibson guitar now.
Do you think he's gonna move to Texas, or like, dude? What if he makes enough money and his like U.S. house is just in Texas somewhere? Like he buys a ranch.
Here's what I'm saying. What if Niklas shows up at the press conference next year? Cowboy boots, jeans, big belt buckle, tucked in flannel, hat on, just commits to it 100%. I mean, he's telling he's
cowboy hat.
He is saying okay. He said for some reason that he feels more at home. He feels the same amount of home in Texas as he does at his own home, which is the most random thing ever. If they got
the internet and he can play Fortnite, he's chilling, man. That's all he needs.
That is true.
Yeah.
He's got the most wild accent too. Yeah. Like he sounds like a robot.
Was it Scott asking for more like planned celebrations in disc golf? Because I mean, the Finnish cowboy could go hard with some like just finger guns. So bring the hat out there.
Oh
get a little lasso that thing.
Dude, Discmania better do some stamps. That better be his new tour series. It's the Finnish cowboy.
Bro, it's just waiting.
I have this like 2 different stats pulled up for Niklas, and I just want to say how much of a dog he is. So last week at the MVP's Open at Austin, the final round, he had a 67% birdie percentage that led the field in the final round. This week in the final round, other than Gannon going scorched earth with a 78%, Niklas had the second best birdie percentage of 72%. So the dude is an absolute dog because he shows up the last round. He had 12 birdies in last week's tournament, and then this last weekend's tournament, 13. Dog in the final round.
He is
dog.
And I had put some various questions in our Discord for us to talk about tonight, but like as far as moments that stood out in this tournament to me, like the roles are so reversed where like 15, Paul goes OB, throws a terrible shot, the wind carries it OB, which choke, by the way. But also Nicholas then out of position just says, I could just end this man's whole career right now, and just throws in that, you know, like 70-foot putt. That was bro is built different right now.
Can I just say, why is the most stable driver that Paul has as a force, even if it's a stable force in the bag? Why does he not have a Venom or some other disc that's like is a Predator a 12 speed?
No, that's a 9.
Oh no, not the Predator. There's another one that's like a Punisher.
Well, the Punisher has the same flight numbers as a Force.
Yeah, but
I think it's flatter.
I heard it's a little bit more like stable earlier.
Yeah,
but
probably because they don't make it that often. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't understand why he doesn't have a more stable driver in the bag, like a Machete at least, or something like that. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I do want to say quickly, shout out to Discraft for realizing, oh, hey, we can make money on YouTube. Let's just make Paul actually do it in the bag for the first time since like 2019. Thank you. Blessed.
Yeah.
I was about to say, bro's throwing more Buzz SS's. He's throwing flippier stuff now.
He's still old school, though.
Next year, he's going to be throwing a Hades.
I was going to say this, too, and I wish I had brought the stats because Matt saying that brought it up in my mind. Paul, at his ripe old age of however old he is, he's not actually that old in my mind, is like top 3 in all the driving statistics and just cannot putt right. He's like one of the best throwers on tour right now.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was opposite.
Yeah.
Like he was the putter.
Putt, yeah.
Hey, I have a question on my stream from Benoit.
What's up, Ben?
What about difference between overstable and understable putters from Circle 2? I personally would rather go overstable, even if I'm going backhand, like normal putt.
I was going to say,
I would rather
for sure.
I would rather Annie flex one because I know that it's gonna like flip over and then like dive bomb.
So I'll say this: I do Annie flex a Luna from like 60, 70 feet. That's when it starts to, like, I don't even have to think about it. Like, I do a step putt now from Circle 2. I have been for like the last couple months. It just, my body just automatically does it because I don't know. I don't think like, I have
to start step putting right when they're
I mean, that's why I keep making everything from Circle 2. I'm not not keep making, but that's why I have a partially a better Circle 2 percentage make, is the step putt is just nasty. I finally got to figure it out.
They will ever actually do that?
No, I don't think so.
Either.
Not in the next 5.
I'm not saying like chain. Well, actually, I do change putters from Circle 2 because the premium plastic marbles are a little more stable. But no, it's more or less like, would you rather have an understable or overstable putter?
I would rather have
an overstable.
So
it's more of like a beat-in putter from distance is what it is.
So back in the day, this was probably like 2016 or 2017.
That's a good question.
I ordered 2 putters. I wanted to try PA2s to putt with. I went on to discgolfcenter.com and I ordered PA2s, right? 2 of them. I did not realize until they got there that one of them was max weight and one of them was 130 grams. I will tell you, if you have a spin putt with a 130 gram putter, bro, if there was wind, obviously that thing was, who knows where that thing's going. Yeah. But with no wind, I could just normal putt from like what felt like a 20 footer from like 70 and make them. It was wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the James Proctor strategy. Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, I have another question, so you should probably.
Oh no, so James Proctor keeps one of his putters from last year in his bag only for Circle 2s and like little short upshots.
Yeah.
I used to not be able to do that. I'm trying to do that now. I used to literally, my putters were so flippy, those pures that I used to have, that like I would throw them and they would just never move, and I was always trusting them to fade into the basket. That's why like the Marvels has been such a good thing, not because of the Marvels specifically, but just because they're new putters. Go to disc. But I'm trying to get that James Proctor move where he doesn't necessarily throw it harder, or at least he says he doesn't, but instead he just uses more leg. He says, I take a flippier putter and I use more leg and I still aim directly in the middle.
That's what I was going to say.
That's like my goal.
I would rather use an understable putter from C2 if I was going to change, because I could putt more normally. and just have it glide farther.
Yeah, I think that's a commitment. Putt more normally, or you're going to throw it harder and you feel like you want a more stable putter to fade out into the basket. But I think Corey is definitely
you guys change your putt? Like from distance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm kind of straight on putting from like circle one, and then the more farther I am, my back foot goes farther like behind me.
Yeah,
and
that's what Paul McBeth does.
Sideways. Yeah.
Paul talks about it in videos ago that he lengthens his stance for the distance.
I just try it right now. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm
uphill and downhill
just copying
as
James
well.
Proctor.
Like have a farther back
I've seen
leg
that.
for uphill and then less for downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm literally just trying to copy James Putter and just like James Proctor, James Putter. God.
Can I ask another question?
James Putter.
I just want to use more legs and not do that, which like I'm good until I'm like 45 and it's weird.
Taylor, when you put in the group chat like Rip Silva Saarinen, was it just because she double bogeyed 17?
It was specifically
like what exactly happened? I actually don't really know.
So
she died in the flood.
Dang, Rip.
No, she had 2 bad holes the entire tournament. She averaged 10-20 and lost.
That's crazy.
She had
crazy.
2 bad holes the entire tournament, and they just so happened to be 17 and 18 of the final round. It's very unfortunate. But I specifically typed Rip Silva Saarinen when the camera would just like not. I felt like every shot was just farther zoomed into her crying after she lost. I was like, bro, like, can we do anything else but this right now? But no.
Matt, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
How does it feel that if you and her went out,
being 14,
you and her went out there and played, and she beat you by like 20 strokes?
I don't know. You know what? How does it feel that she'd go out and beat you by 10?
She won't beat me by 10. Maybe like 6.
You're talking
max.
Silva?
6 max.
Somebody started GoFundMe for both of these things.
I mean, let's make this happen here. But if we're going off raw rating, she's beating you by like 10.
I think the over under for you is 19. For me, I think the over under is like 7. Or it's more like 6.5 for me. For you, it's like 18.
What's your rating right now? What's your last like couple? The only way we can do this is raw rating right now.
My rating on PDGA, I think, is like 916. But my last couple tournaments, I was shooting like 930, 950. And that was last year in the springtime or something like that.
Right, yeah. Because I remember when you played that string of them. I don't know. I think it low key depends on the course.
How do you think that it changes if there's also the opportunity to take a mulligan anytime you want to, but you have to eat a slice of Little Caesars pizza?
Oh, she's getting dumpstered. What does she weigh? 115 pounds?
She's getting smacked, dude. One piece of pizza, she's down for the count.
I think. Yeah. Is she like really nasty with the putter?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm really nasty with the putter right now.
It seems like she has no emotions though towards anything. Like
that's how I feel about her too.
She doesn't get aggressive. Yeah. She just kind of throws, and then she's like, "All right."
Except when she lost and was crying, and then the camera was like, enhanced.
Here's a question: how far can she throw? That's what I need to. That's what I need to know.
I've heard mixed opinions because I feel like all last year everybody was like, Silva's going to be good. She just can't throw that far. And then like I was hearing people at Nashville say that like she's probably got 400 easy.
What? That is not what I've heard.
Completely different things.
No
that's
way.
Different.
Also, I don't know how far any FPO players can throw. Like
they can go pretty far.
Not compared to themselves, but like in general.
I think top tier FPO distance is 450, I would say. And some can throw past that, but it's more of like a less accurate sending one situation.
Is Kristen throwing 450-ish?
No. She's throwing like 375. That's where she's getting out to.
Okay.
Kristen is up there in the 500s. She's
No, listen. I've seen all the. I followed the girls for a couple holes at Worlds. Like they don't. Those girls don't push more than 400, other than like Ella or Holland. those girls. Like
I feel
they're like between 350 and 375, like comfortably.
I feel like I have to say this because of who commented. Kristen is up there in the 500s.
Who's
no way, Jose?
Come on, bro. Get out of here.
No way, Jose. That's his name.
But yeah, Silva's the fourth best putter in FPO right.
Yeah, but what does that make her? What does that make her?
So she putted. Her strokes gained putting was a 9.9, and Kristen's was like around a 6.
What's her C1X and what's her C2 putting?
C1X is
who's her X?
82. She's fourth, and then C2 she is first at 33%.
Wait, do they have seasonal stats now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't think. I'll be honest. I think it comes down to right. Let's say she's 10% better at putting than me.
I will tell you 33% C2 is an elite MPO number. Like that is a top.
The C2 is good.
C2.
Let's say she's 10% better than me C1 putting, and then say I pop a 15 C2, 15% C2.
Regardless, she's still going out there and smacking you on a 20 piece.
I don't think on a 20 piece. I'm saying less than. I'm not saying she's not smacking me, to be clear, but I don't think on a 20 piece.
How many putts do you make during a round?
Dude, she's 975 rated. Like that's sneaky, really good.
You just shot 10-20 on the
not disagreeing that it's sneaky, really good. I don't know, Corey. I made I had 16 putts outside of C1X today.
Okay.
Dang, Mike says she's putting up a 30 spot on Mac.
Hey, Mike, I saw you around at that Mickey Mouse course, buddy.
I've seen more than a round of Mike. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not saying I do well, Scott, but I'm saying give me below 20 somewhere. It kind of depends on how many. Wooded. I think definitely wooded.
Okay. And the last 2 events, she's finished second place. That's feel bad.
Give me wooded and give me.
It's trending.
I don't know.
Yeah, she went up 4 points in her rating. So now she's 979 rated actually because ratings adjusted yesterday. I missed it. Yeah. So now she's
on MVP FPO. Her and Sarah.
Rotana.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rotana.
Oh yeah, Rotana. That's more of a mascot.
Did you say Sarah Holcomb?
Yeah.
He said Sarah.
Oh.
I said, but besides for her and Sarah, I don't know if.
Did you guys see the 15 or 16-year-old MVP player?
Oh
FPO
yeah,
who went on and popped like the best C1X putting.
Yeah.
She won like the juniors or something like that. She was on Eagles channel.
Hey, Sarah Holcomb, Elaine King. Put some respect on Elaine King, Madison Walker, and that's
you used to have a Fission Photon from that.
And then what's that girl's name?
Scott, I don't know if I could shoot under par at Music City Open. I'd have to really look at the course on the FPO thing.
Oh, hold on. I just got to say this real quick before dude, you know who like I don't know the right word is like actually throws really far I've seen in person? Ellie Ezra, the disc explodes out of her hand.
She has to have the craziest looking form too.
If we can get Matt to the Music City Open course, which probably doesn't exist because it's probably already out of the ground, I would put $500 on a round if he played under par.
Are you able to play it outside of that?
No.
Or is it just different?
Well, okay. Like what was her best round at the Music City Open course? Anyone know?
Wait, what?
Any course that has an elevation of more than 100 feet, Matt will not shoot under par at.
Tyler, you have to. Okay, according to UDisc ratings, I am 100 points up in ratings off of my first couple rounds of the year.
2-7
compared to last year.
8 down. So was
listen. This
I can shoot.
This wasn't supposed to be a smack Matt in the face thing. I just wanted to know Matt's opinion about her putting up a 20 piece on him. That's all I wanted.
I think it's less than 20. I don't think it's a lot less than 20. Give me Give me.
But the question was, what if she did? Like,
what did she
that
shoot?
good?
Goated.
What did she shoot last round? What was her score?
8 down.
10-18 or something like that.
8 down?
Yeah, 8 down. Yeah. It was 10-20 rated.
10-20. There it is.
But that's what I'm saying. If Tyler's
I think I readjusted 10-18.
I don't know, man. I can see
if Tyler's giving me 20 strokes on the FPO layout. That's I could shoot like what 12 over versus her 8 down and be within Tyler's 20 strokes. What did I shoot at Iron Hill FPO?
8 points per stroke was
8 points per stroke.
Yeah, how ratings calculated for that event.
Yeah, disc taste crazy. But Tyler, I shot 14 over on the FPO at Iron Hill with a torn hip flexor.
By yourself in the woods.
What do you mean?
Just saying, by yourself.
If it was by 20, you would have shot 852. Quick math.
Oh, that's the round today was 884 technically.
Listen, the point of the question was, she's
I don't feel bad. To be clear, I don't feel bad if she does. She's a professional. She should. But I think I can sneak a little less than that.
I would actually pay her. I actually would pay her a couple bucks to play around with me so I could just play against her and see what is she doing that I could replicate because she's playing really, really good, right? She's probably not throwing further than me. Probably.
Try wearing a skirt.
I'm done.
Mike, that is not a good assessment because
he has wore skirts.
No.
Maybe it is the putting. I don't know, but you still got to throw it like decent.
It's definitely the putting.
Yeah, but you got to give yourself chances too. So I wonder,
what did I have to? What did I have to shoot
in the middle of the fairway? But then she can putt.
852 would be right at 20, so like 860, 870. To
my everyday
to be the
UDisc competition rating is 178, which translates to 856.
All right,
be close. It's a good line. It's a good line.
It's a great line, actually.
I don't like this rating. I don't like this rating thing.
Dude, I've moved on from this.
You're considering the courses near you rated around the same as the FPO layout for Music City.
Tyler's moved on.
No, I just compared Iron Hill.
I have 2 more questions for the pod.
Hold on. Silva, 48% circle 1 in regulation. So she's throwing it well. And then 72% C2 regulation. I think that's where it is.
Okay. Let me rewatch FPO round. I'll watch Silva's round and I'll tell you honestly what I think she would beat me by.
Join the Discord.
Can I show you guys? Can I show you one more thing?
What you think?
Okay. Can you see that? Can anyone see that?
I can see that.
Well, we have to push it to our stream.
Oh, can we do that? Jamie, is that possible?
Yeah, give me a second.
Please push us to the stream.
It's Tammy.
This is going to settle a little discussion that we had in our Discord. So I feel like I have to just throw this up there. It's a lot closer than I thought.
Mac, I'm down with 15 strokes. Like I said, I think it's going to be 15 or 16, but I think it's going to be under 20.
She's still putting up a 20 piece on you though, right?
Yeah. No, I'm saying I think it's under 20. Maybe Scott's been thinking I was saying I was going to like tire. I don't think I'm going to tire.
The stream can see.
I think it's going to be like.
So we had a discussion about with these two head to head, and here is where it's been the last 2 seasons, last year and this year so far. Ella's got Silva by like 10 strokes, but the records are really close. Got one more win than Ella, but Ella's a little bit more better top 10 essentially. So we were discussing who would you rather have in a final round if you had to win a golf tournament, either Silva or Ella. So there you go. I just wanted to share that.
Gets too emotional.
I think I agree with you.
Both are.
I think she doesn't want. They got to figure out how to play disc golf. Why you should have caddy on the back. Someone's got to talk you through and figure it out, right? I was in Taylor's head all day, and he played decent.
It's true.
Yeah, Silva was balling off the round, but she was locked in.
How many people do you think has a caddy that actually talks to them?
I don't know. Great question.
3.
I really think it's like either 1 or 0.
3 total.
Maybe Gannon and Matt. Not
But
this
how much
well,
does
but
Matt actually talk, or is it just Gannon talking at Matt and then Matt just like staring at him?
Well, Gannon said last year that Matt had said he kept referring to as my caddy. So like he'd be like, my caddy said blah blah blah. So I think he does. I think Schlebach does have some input, but
maybe
I don't know. It's a good question.
I have two more questions.
Taylor, what do you want to do?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're totally fine. I'm going to switch us back here. I have two more questions that I wanted to ask the boys. I think that Nicholas was pretty criminally underrated by us all coming into the season, but I would like to ask everyone's opinion. Do you think, one, this is a two-part question, does Nicholas have a chance to win a major this year? Do you think he will? Yes or no? Two,
yes.
Do you think Nicholas has a chance to be player of the year for 2025?
Oh, man.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk my 40%, so I'll wait to talk.
I think yes. I think he's got a very good chance to win a major, specifically the European majors. Obviously, especially the European Disc Golf Festival, because I mean, the one knock on Nicholas is that he doesn't throw AB far, like super far. But yeah, I think yes and yes for me.
Still throws far, and he throws very accurate for how he throws.
And he been striping that pole, man. His putting has been insane.
Yeah.
And he's got a blacked out Beamer.
And he plays Fortnite.
And a cowboy hat.
And I heard he got the Sabrina Carpenter skin too.
That guy's gooning.
Imagine he walks into any Texas place and do whatever he wants, man. He owns Texas.
Yeah, with that accent. They'd be like, get out of here. Get out of here, Europe.
I'm here for your steak.
I would like a ribeye. What all is like considered for player of the year? Is it just points? Is it?
They don't really tell you.
There's two. There's the Pro Tour Player of the Year and there's the PDGA Player of the Year. I think the PDGA Player of the Year is purely points. I think it is just a point system, but it's still weighted on like majors count more, yada yada yada, whatever. And then DGPT is more voting based. I think like tour players vote, they have a higher percentage weighted vote. There's like a slight fan vote.
Yeah, I don't really know why Nicholas like comes and goes. It's almost like Calvin, right? Like Calvin will pop off and win a couple in a row or something like that and then disappear. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe
Tanner says no and no to a major or player of the year. I
say yes and yes.
I think player of the year is much less likely. I think I would say at this point in the year, he is my personal favorite to win at least one of the European majors. Specifically, what will be the European Open this year.
I think he could win Worlds for sure.
Yeah.
If I had to put betting odds on Worlds, he's probably like plus 400 right now, which is good odds, by the way. So
is Champions Cup in 2 weeks?
Yeah. Well, it is the tournament after the next tournament, but I don't know what time that is.
It's the weekend that Mac gets married.
Let's go, dude. Put that coverage on.
I'm going to have to put the coverage on.
Oh, no.
As always, my friends, I have a game for you tonight. This
game time.
This is going to be a doozy. I think we're going to like this one. So this is a very similar game, just without a point structure, to our typical game brought to us by another sponsor. This game is brought to us by my sponsor and my local shop, Chalker House Disc Golf. Use our 10 to get 10% off at Chalker House. They have all their stuff online, and I love them. But I wrote this down a long time ago, months ago, and I never used this, and I think this is so funny. So they posted their top selling discs at their shop. This is a shop in my local area for 2024. This is not listed. There are 5 best selling discs for MVP, the MVP family, Discraft, and Innova. And I would just like to see if this group can complete this list, because this is, again, to borrow a word, eclectic. A list of best-selling discs from 2024.
You know what kind of sucks, though? There's no way of us getting the ball rolling on MVP's family being called Trilogy, because that just wouldn't fly, but it totally makes more sense.
Also, poll has ended, and no was the winner. If you feel a difference between 2 and 3 speed putters, the people have spoken.
It's pretty close. It was by 1 vote.
Gotta define it.
That vote was me.
Yeah, I didn't do a good job.
The swing.
How we doing this game?
I'm
Are
just gonna say like community
individuals
effort. No,
or
I think as a team. Like if you guys I'll give you guys 5 minutes. We're at 55 right now. So add an hour. I'm gonna cut this, and if you guys have completed this list, I will be impressed. That's my metric for success.
And there's how many? There's 5 MVP.
There's 5 of each. Yeah, so 15 disc total. MVP,
so
Discraft, and Innova.
Discraft, Innova. Okay.
Innova. Do we just rattle off till we get it, or how is them?
Just send them, baby.
You guys want to start with
Avenger
Discraft?
SS.
Hold on. So we got to define. Let's just do one disc manufacturer at a time. So
Start with Discraft.
Discraft. Okay. So Buzz.
Yes.
Zone.
Known.
No zone.
Force.
SS.
No Avenger SS. No Force.
No nuke.
Slipstream GT.
No nuke. No Slipstream.
Raptor.
Nope.
Luna?
Cap Wrap.
Nope.
Eats.
Nope. Nope.
Alta.
Alta?
Nope.
Meteor?
Stinger.
Nope.
Comet?
Stinger. Hold on.
Nope.
Stinger.
None of either.
Buzz SS.
Buzz
Stalker.
SS is on the list.
Oh.
So we have Buzz
and
SS.
Buzz and Buzz SS, yes. And if those
Drive.
are, I couldn't remember if these are in order of the manufacturer, but Buzz was 3 and Buzz SS was 5. If so, could be irrelevant.
Drive.
No drive.
Kratos.
Kratos is number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Luna.
Sagara.
No,
I already ripped
it
Luna.
was 2024, so no Sagara.
Cicada.
Cicada was number 2.
Is that all of them?
One more,
One more.
right?
Number 4. Yeah.
Athena.
Nope.
Thrasher.
Nope.
Captain's Raptor.
Nope. This is gonna be, does Corey know every Discraft disc that's ever been made?
What?
Vulture.
Challenger.
Nope.
Onyx.
Nope. Not
Magnet?
a Paul line. Not a player's
Not
disc.
a Paul line. Okay. Not a Paul line.
Challenger
Not a player's
SS. Challenger OS.
disc.
Roach.
Not a magnet. Not a roach. I don't think it's.
Can
a
we get a
putter.
hint
I don't
of-
know what.
I was gonna
this
say,
actually
can we
is, but
can we get a
tell you
hint
it's
Wait, he
not a
doesn't
putter.
even know what it is?
It's Discrafted meat, but yeah,
Bringer?
it's not a putter.
Oh gosh.
It's not a putter.
Ringer?
I'll tell you in one moment. If infinitedisc.com loads, use my affiliate code.
I was gonna say,
please.
can we get like
It is a 5-speed.
Okay.
I'll tell you-
Wasp.
Drone.
No.
Swarm?
No.
Swarm.
Swarm's a good guess.
So drone, wasp, and
2 minutes left, by the way.
2 minutes?
Comet?
Do we move on? Do we move on?
All right,
Comet's
I'm gonna tell
4-speed.
you. I'm gonna tell you the flight
Here?
numbers: 5, 4, -4, 1 are the flight numbers.
Oh my.
Oh,
Archer.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
Dang
All right, let's
it.
move on. Let's move on. MVP.
Hex.
Nope.
Crave.
Trail.
Trail was number 3. No time,
Time
lapse.
lapse.
No Crave.
No crave.
Pixel.
Nope.
Crave. Oh shoot.
Nope.
Envy. Oh my god.
Anode.
Nope.
Detour?
Spin.
Pixel.
Nope.
Gosh dang, boy.
And
What are
entropy.
they throwing?
Fireball.
Pyro.
Pyro's number 5.
Okay. Good.
Fireball.
night.
Motion.
No.
Pilot.
Nope.
Proxy.
Trace.
Nope.
What the frick?
Dimension.
Rhythm.
No. Bro, when you guys get to Innova, you are so cooked, by
Paradox?
the way.
Photon?
No.
Insanity.
Insanity was 4. I've never even heard of that
Yeah.
disc.
Ion?
The top two are gettable. The top 2 are very gettable.
Crave.
No.
Already did that one.
Crave, we already said.
One was a fundraiser stamp for a par 2 course that went in.
Envy.
Not an NV.
Glitch.
Glitch is number 1. Second one is very similar to that disc.
Pitch.
Pitch.
Nope.
Yeah. What?
Parachute.
Nope. Not the same mold, but similar.
Pilot.
Nope.
Oh, Watt.
Watt. Number 2.
What?
All right, we got Innova. I'm gonna extend you guys by a couple minutes because we got 15 seconds. for the
Thunderbird.
timer. Not a Thunderbird.
Firebird.
Nope.
Destroyer.
Three.
Destroyer was 4.
Leopard.
Not a Leopard.
Leopard 3.
Not a Leopard 3.
Mako
Lion.
3.
Mako 3 was number 1.
Lion.
AVR.
No lion. No AVR.
Shark.
No shark.
Mamba.
Rock.
No.
Rock
Sidewinder.
3.
No.
Toro.
No
Roadrunner.
Toro. No Roadrunner.
Rhino.
No Rhino. Close.
Wraith.
Pig.
Gator.
Pig was 2. No Wraith.
Gator Cayman.
1, 2, 4.
Yeah, we have 1,
Did you
2,
just
4.
say Kanan, Tyler? Did you just say Kanan?
Cayman.
Cannon. The legacy cannon.
Isn't a Cayman a disc?
Yeah.
Cayman is, but you
Cayman.
said Kanan at first, or it sounded like you said Kanan, and I was like, bro.
Yeah, Nick
Oh.
Cannon.
AVR.
AVR 3.
Close.
AVR X3.
Close.
AVR X3. AVR 3 close.
AVR, that's a little
AVR
bit more like
X4.
the previous brand that we talked about.
Whale.
Whale's not on there.
AVR, that's like a what?
Say that again?
Oh, what's the frick is it called? What's the overmold?
XT Nova?
Nova.
Nova.
One
Nova.
left.
What?
One
Why is
left.
it Nova on the list?
One
Why is it
left and,
Nova on the list?
One left, and this is a
Firebird.
disc that I love. All-time favorite.
Boom.
We already said
Not a Tomb. Or
Invader.
The Orc.
No, but I wish it was the Orc, but it's not the Orc.
Beast.
Not a Beast.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. It's number 5.
So the Valkyrie. So Taylor, the Insanity is a Valkyrie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can vibe with that. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting how specified, I guess,
Wow.
of discs that are selling in my area. We usually do that list with Foundation. Go to Foundation, use our affiliate code to make the podcast some money. Go to Chalker House, use Ursa10 to make me some store credit. You can also buy some of our links. Let me know in the description. Join the Discord if you like the new style. A little bit more laid back, a little bit less planned. But we're in here vibing. We're gonna stop recording for now. We'll probably be in here vibing on the live for a little bit. So join the live next week. We are here every Wednesday at 7:45 Central Time, or on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you get your podcasts. And shout out
Love you, Mom.
to the boys. Shout out Matt's dad.